26. And as you can see here, we got MTG Marjorie Taylor Greene here. That used to be a senator, and of course she got out of it or whatever. And she was one of the few that woke up, or so I believe anyway, that she truly woke up to all of the bullshit that we got fed uh, whenever Trump was pretending to be for we the people and wanted to work for we the people. And of course, he pretended to be a Christian, bowing his head and inviting people for prayer and so on and so forth. It was all just made up bullshit, a lie. And who do we know that absolutely lies like that? That's right, the little hat people, the demonics, as I will refer to them as. Um, they're not only they don't only reside in Israel, but they are in fact right here, and they have had their entire arm shoved up we the people's hind end ever since. Uh, Absolutely, you could go back to 1871 when they switched out the United States of America for U.S. Incorporated. Now, if you asked their creation, Google, which I refer to as Giggle, because it's hilarious. Well, actually, there's nothing at all funny about it, but it never will tell you factual stuff that's genuinely correct unless it's meaningless bullshit, like what color is an orange or something like that. But uh, they have this NDAA, they call it, where they're merging the military of the U.S. Incorporated with Israel, with the demonics. And just remember that it is not only the ones that go around with their big nose and their beard and stuff like that, and their goofy hats and the square boxes that they put on their head and everything, all the other, and they literally try to hump their god at the Wailing Wall. When you see them wiggling back and forth, that's honestly them trying, or them having sex with Satan. You can go look that up. That's a fact. But you'll have those like Jared Kushner, which is Donald Demon Trumpy Dumpy's son-in-law. The one that's married to his daughter, that they just went swimming and they found a beach and they liked it so much they decided to just buy it. They're stealing it. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's absolutely insane. Nothing funny. But yeah, they're trying to buy the whole island or whatever so that they can put up a resort and stuff. Look, here's what's happening. They no longer they haven't been for a long time. They don't ask us what to do. They're just doing it, and then we have to go through all the paperwork and shit because of our system that we keep counting on to work, that clearly is nothing more than a piece of toilet paper that you can wipe your ass with. Constitution, my ass. There is no constitution and there is no law if it's not enforced or backed up, and if you can't hold people's feet to the fire, so to speak, or hang them like the Constitution says. Is it a law? Is there a Constitution? Well, right now I'd say hell no. And will there ever be? Right now I'd say hell no. But if you stay silent, you are saying I am perfectly fine with, and I also agree with, and want this to happen. So I am not staying silent. I do not want this NDAA bullshit to go through. I'm going to play this for just a minute why I call Dave Taylor, little hat wearer demonic himself, I feel so sorry for him and his three daughters. I really do. To a certain point. Well, especially mainly, let me say that over. I feel really sorry and really bad for his daughters as of now because I don't know them, but he has three daughters, and I just wonder which one of those he has sacrificed to Baal. Well, right now, I would say probably all three of them because he is a demonic Jew. He supports a demonic Jew. They all support each other. So that makes him a demonic. Uh, yeah, just right along with his daddy Trump there. So who is a puppet also just to the Illuminati. All right, so while you're watching just a little bit of this here, this is the vote that they had yesterday, I think it was, and that it passed through this NDAA, which joins the U.S. Incorporated Military with Israel's military. So watch this for just a minute. I'm just going to make a phone call, and it'll be 202-224-3121. If anyone's out there, and if anyone wants to call that and talk to the enemy and tell them to get the hell out of our country, as you'll watch me do here shortly. So let me go ahead and I'll call these retard individuals up right now. 224. Let me see. Did I do that the wrong way? Let me see how to do it. Here we go. Alright, I think we got it now. Alright, well, let's try to... What am I doing wrong here? Redial. I hope a lot of people's calling in. There you go. Here's the number.
You've reached the United States Capitol switchboard. Please say the name of the senator or representative that you are trying to reach. Or say, I'm not sure.
Dave Taylor, Ohio.
Connecting you to the Office of Representative, Dave Taylor.
Okay, while we get them, watch this for just a minute.
Now that the NDAA has passed the House today.
Oh, listen. They don't want to answer. That's his extremely annoying voice right there. That's Dave Taylor. This is the mechanical answering machine right here. And see, I'm actually leaving this as a message that Dave Taylor is a trespasser. He is an invader from a foreign country that is known, I guess, for location purposes. It's got to be Israel, but he is the Illuminati little demonic hat-wearing individuals, we'll just say for right now or whatever. So we're leaving a message again that we think you are a piece of dog shit for passing this NDAA, Dave Taylor, 216 to 212, with the Republicans, 209 of them voting yes for it, and 7 of them voting no. Democrats, 205 no's and 6 yeses. Does that make them good? Does that make them bad, the Democrats or the Republican? Hell no. It makes them one and the same. It doesn't matter. If this was a Democratic ran whatever, then it would just be the numbers reversed, but it would be the same exact bullshit, just like Dave Taylor. So, anyway, if you're not paying attention to this, better get your head out of your ass and do something, anything. Start talking to people, whatever it is that you got to do, whatever it is that you can do. And, this has got to stop. We can't do this. I'm not going to stay silent. I'm not going to be one of those that don't say anything, because I don't condone it. I don't put up with it. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to do all that I can. I'm out talking to people almost every day, and it shocks me of the amount of people that's out there that don't even realize that Donald Trump is in fact a demonic little hat wearing Jew. And you know, I showed it yesterday, and matter of fact, I tell you what, we'll just show it again here right quick. But as you can see with that right there, that was it past the House. That's what that means. Maybe I should go back there and make this really clear of what Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually showing here. This vote right here, what that means is 216, 212. That's the House. That it passed the House. That means they all agreed with it. Dave Taylor, all of them, all agreed with that. So that's going on to the Senate now to be voted on. Now, if the Senate passes it, then it goes to whose desk? Oh, yes, Donald Trump's desk. And if he signs it, then it becomes law. And then, guess what? All of a sudden, we are butt buddies with Israel, which we already are. So to be completely clear about this, absolutely positively, we have been and have let them and be all up in our hind end. Whose fault is it? Our fault. Our fault. All right, so we're going to jump back over here and we're going to see if we can. Let's see. Where does he say? Let's see. It might be back here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, here's another thing too. Here's where Trump right here, old Edelson, is offering Trump $250 million more money to run for 2028. I don't think he's going to have to, because he is killing off every one of the seats or anybody that disagrees with the demonics. So right here real quick, play this again.
And I said, this is our first Jewish president.
It's true. It's true.
President to serve two.
That's what he said.
Not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything. And I said, this is our first Jewish president. It's true. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies.
And anybody want to take a guess what the bald-headed guy there with the glasses on might happen to be? Oh yeah, demonic right along with him. Okay, we're going to try this one more time here. And matter of fact, let's try Dave Taylor of Ohio. Let's see if we can pull him up while we push this number again. See if we can get Dave Taylor, or a human answer machine, to answer, because they're pieces of shit. Call this number.
Operator, may I help you?
Dave Taylor, Ohio, please.
1 moment.
When you call the switchboard, these people are always so nice, every one of them.
Thank you for that.
I'm sorry, I thought you already switched off there. I was just sharing that on my YouTube channel. And for the most part, you know, I've had a couple little glitches, but for the most part, you guys are serving the people and doing it well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me get you connected over to that office now.
God bless you.
Thank you.
No, they're not going to answer, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they're not going to answer. Because today, as you can see, it's 4:49 now, but they always run out of there. They're cowards. This number is supposed to be working. This number should work 24 hours, 7 days a week, and you should have somebody there to take the call from their bosses, right? From we the people, right? But they don't see us as anything except for Goyim, because Dave is a demonic himself, following his demonic brother Trump, you know, and the rest of them, Jared Kushner, the rest of them, Bill Gates. And you know what? You would be absolutely shocked to find out.
Please record your message at the tone. You may hang up when finished, or for more options, press pound.
Yeah, and this is James Preston, and I just am calling to tell you that we know that you guys are traitorous invaders to we the people and to our country, the United States of America, and that we want you to get out of our country. Dave Taylor, you and your accomplices, Trump, Kushner, BB Nasty Yahoo, all of yous, Bill Gates, you need to get out of our country. I'm looking forward to the day when we prosecute all of you to the fullest extent of the Constitution, and which it says for traitorous activities and stuff, which in your case is not a traitor at all, because you're being loyal to the country, or the entity, I should say, that you work for and have been created by. And that is the Illuminati Jews. So put that in your butt and chew on it there.
There's 10 seconds of recording time left.
Yeah, I'll take my last 10 seconds to say that we the people want nothing to do with this NDAA bullshit merging U.S.
To send your message, press 1. To send your message as urgent, press 2.
There, we'll push 2.
Your message was sent. Thanks for calling.
There, we pushed it as 2, urgent. Get that message to old Dave Taylor there, butt plug extraordinaire. All right, as you can see, this whole thing doesn't work. It does not work. None of this works. You know, you're supposed to be able to do this, or you're supposed to be able to do that. You know, the Constitution says that we can travel unmolested, you know, without a driver's license or whatever, because you're supposed to be able to travel. Can you do that? Hell no. Nope. Because you'll get pulled over and molested. And of course, you know, if you think about it, that would stand to reason that people would be getting molested in our country and around the world that has to deal with these demonics. And if you think about it, how smart, how brave, how awesome are the other ones in other countries who have actually, you know, said, hey, you know what, we're not putting up with this. And they have got up and they have absolutely done the right thing. They throwed them the hell out of their countries. They said, you're out of here. Over 100 other countries have said no more to these demonics, man. Got rid of them. Now, how awesome is that? How'd they do that, right? Why can't we do that? Well, these demonics have got such a grip on our country, they won't let it go. They won't just, you know, leave the country like they did in the other countries for no reason, because they know this is the biggest, the baddest, the best, the strongest, you know. And that's not because of the people, but that's because of what the people have given. And what have we, the people, given? We have given our consent. How did we do that? By not saying shit. So whose fault is all this? Whose fault that we have all of these demons in there telling us what they're going to do? Not even not telling us what to do, because they don't give a shit what we do. They're going to do what they do. They create a law, they create all of these rules and all this bullshit, and then we find out about it, just like this NDAA of merging. And see, there's wordplay once again, as always, where they say, oh, no, it's not merging the countries. It's just merging the military. And then they'll go even further, because if you say, well, no, you know, and you show them that you know, in fact, what the hell they're trying to shove up our ass, which they are, It doesn't pass the House, you know. So, and for those that might see this and you're thinking, well, I don't like politics, this is boring as hell. Well, I say go crawl back underneath your porch or wherever you want to. It's no big shit to me if you want to bury your head and accept it and go along with it, because then we know. But this is my personal record for me and nobody else, except for between my Lord and Savior, the Father in heaven, and the Son, Jesus, who they say is in hell and boiling excrement. That's the little hat wearers that say that, and the demonics. So if you was to find just a few moments to go read their demonic Talmud that shows how they live, it don't tell them how to live. All it is it's just a thing that you can read. It's a book called the Talmud. And if you read that, it literally tells how they live. So again, see, if we read the Bible, you know, we don't live a certain way. And then if we go read the Bible, it says, well, Christians live like this. Well, this is what but the Talmud, which is absolutely completely opposite of the Bible, you know, but it is in fact this way that they have to disclose to we, the Goyim, as they refer to us as, they have to divulge to us their plans and what they're going to do before they do it. Now, if you go back and you look, you know, if you watch the movie like Stargate or any of the other ones, you can actually see where they tell us stuff. And even The Simpsons, right? Remember The Simpsons? You know, they said was, you know, telling the future and all that and stuff or whatever. Well, in fact, it wasn't no big deal if you think about it. So the Simpsons actually have to be in on it. Oh, let's see. Let's figure that out. Well, where does the Simpsons come from? Would that be, oh, I don't know, entertainment? Yep. And who does entertainment? Would that be, oh, yeah, let's see, Hollywood? Oh, yeah, Hollywood. And why is it called Hollywood? Because it comes from what kind of wood? And what's that wood? What was it usually used for? Oh, yeah, magic wands and stuff. And so it goes on and on and on. It's all demonic garbage, right? So, in fact, every damn movie or whatever, you know, they come out and they're telling us what it is that they are going to be doing. And then they do it, you know. Has anybody ever heard of the dancing Israelis? Anybody ever heard of that? That's 9/11, okay? Everybody with half a brain knew exactly what was going on in 9/11. But the majority, no. I better take it. Well, yeah, the ones with half a brain did know. But the majority of the people was like, they didn't know what to do. And they was like walking around bumping into walls, you know, and everybody just kind of dropped it because it was so awful what had happened. And if you go and you watch old Bush, you know, one of the Bush brothers there, supposed to be dad and son, you know, old man Bush and then Bush Jr. there. But where was he whenever they come in and watch the video? Nothing funny about it. I guess it's more of just an aggravation reaction or whatever anytime I think about it. But he was actually in a classroom with little children. And it's quite in our face too if you listen to what the children were actually doing, because they was talking about planes and, you know, buildings and stuff like that anyway. But he just sat there. Even once he was told that there was an attack and that they had crashed into the World Trade Centers, so on and so forth. You can find the video. Maybe we'll pull it up and maybe we'll watch that or something. Anyway, this is documentation. I'm not going along with their bullshit. And I'm not making videos of jumping off the roof into razor blades or into cacti or anything like that, you know, to get 1 million views or whatever, you know. I'm making these here to try to this is a record that I'm not going along with any of their bullshit. So all of them can kiss my ass. I'm not doing no mark of the damn beast or anything else. I ain't doing it. We've done been warned. We've done been told about it. And this is your warning, you know. So if you haven't heard any of this before, you've heard it now. And I'm telling you, nothing to do with politics. This has got everything to do with your soul. And if you don't care about your soul, then maybe you might care about your children's soul. Because you can't say that you in fact love your children and do nothing. This is your opportunity. This is your probably your last chance, because let me tell you this here. You have the Noahide laws, and I know everybody's like, well, what's Noahide? You know, well, that's boring as hell. I've never heard of Noahide. That's something that don't pertain to me. The hell it don't. You're going to find out it belongs to you, because the Noahide laws are coming along, and it's saying that if you do not worship who they tell you to worship, you're going to have your damn head cut off. And does anybody know anything about the 30,000 guillotines? You don't? Well, let me tell you about the 30,000 guillotines that you have purchased. Okay? They were stored in South Carolina, I think it was, at the military bases. But with all of these processing centers, I mean data centers, that they're absolutely putting up, even whenever the people say, nope, don't put them up. Guess what they do? They put them up. And you can watch on this damn demonic screen right here, you can watch it where the people finally stand up and they say, no, we don't want that here. All of them collectively as a whole, even telling all the little bitches that's up there on their high horse seats or whatever, that where they always set up like that they're royalty over the peasants or something, which basically that's what they've created, right? So, but they tell them, you know, they say, we don't want no processing centers here, clear as day. And guess what happens? The son of a bitch pops up overnight. So they put the processing center there. That's where I believe that all of these guillotines are being put at, because they're going to process your ass. And why are they using so much water and all this stuff? Because they want to make sure that whatever they do with that water, that you ain't going to be able to use it unless you pay big money. They're already charging $2,000 to put sunshine at your front doorstep, and I am not joking about that. You can look that shit up too. Well, right now, I'm going to end this here, because this was documentation once again, so that I can say, I said no, I didn't go along with it. I am a living man. I am responsible for my own actions and my own being and my own items, property, papers, and effects of any and all kinds. I own my properties. I own my vehicles. I own all of everything that I have in my possession. It is mine. It don't belong to anybody else. Taxes my ass. Here's something I'll leave you with. Switch out taxes with the word payment, okay? Because anytime you say, oh, I got to pay the taxes. Well, that's much better than saying, I got to go make the damn payment on my property, right? Because, you know, if you don't make that tax payment, which is what? Oh, yeah, just a freaking payment to begin with, you going to keep your house? No. What do? They send out their little dumb shits, and people just say, okay, here you go, and then they hand it over, right? We got to stop that shit. We gotta not be playing into this here American fake ass government that the Illuminati has created for us. I'm no longer voting in that system because it doesn't work. I'm looking for those individuals who actually, you know, you hear these people, they say, oh, we don't know what to do. What do we do? Well, I know what to do. We get the hell away from You know what? I'll save this for the next live that I do. I might do it here after a bit or something like that. Anyway, I said I was going to find something on there. I even forgot about what the hell that was right now. The important thing is more documentation that I'm saying no, and I'm standing up and I'm fighting for you, and I'm fighting first and foremost for your children, and only with the Lord's blessing will we ever obtain having a country again. And I would love to see it, the new America. The new America for the genuine Americans. All right. Anyway, appreciate y'all being here. If you watch this and you can leave a comment, man, that'd be awesome of you. If you don't, no harm, no foul. Appreciate it. And you've been told, you've been warned. So go watch your videos of, I don't know, playing with goats or something. And I am out of here. As soon as I can figure out, let's see here. Got to shut this down. There we go. Peace out.